Tzadik Aleph Amud Beis. Amar Vashi on the bottom. Ulakol lo kashinan. Are we not suspicious of a rumor? Hey, call. Ilema call the basu nesuin. For example, husband and wife get married, and then there's rumor that she was a grusha, and let's say she married a kohen. Amar Vashi chadazim. Amar Vashi call the basu nesuin kashinan. We don't rely on a rumor after the marriage. We would rely on it before, we would investigate it. But a rumor that surfaces after their marriage, Bezdin doesn't care about that. So, so maybe since this woman needed to go to Bezdin with the one to permit her to get married, maybe it's like a rumor prior to marriage, and she should be usher. Kamash Balan that she's not. The Mishnah says, "Nisas al pi Bezdin teitze." If Bezdin made the hoira based on Eid Echad, and she got married, force of divorce. This our Mishnah is not like the following. The Tani Be Midrasha. Haru Bezdin sheshaka chama. Bezdin made a ruling that Shabbos was over, and people did malacha. Uvasov zarcha, and then it turns out it was just a cloud. The sun came back. Ein zu hayra latos. That's not a hayra Bezdin that they would then bring a korban chatas for all of Klal Yisrael. No, that's mistake of facts. And there, a person who did the avera, each one would bring a private korban, not the korban helam dover shel tzibur. However, Rav Nachman Amar Hayrohi, it is considered ohira, and Bezdin would have to bring a korban on behalf of everybody. Amar Rav Nachman Teda the Hayrohi. The B'chol Torah Kula Eid Echad Lo Mehemed. In all of the Torah, we don't believe one Eid, but V'hacha Mehemed. But here, we do believe the one Eid. Why? My timer. Lav mishum d'hoirohi, because it's a special hoirah shah that Bezdin does. So therefore, it's a proof that it's a hoirah. Amar Rava. No. Teida de tosu. It's not a hoirah, it's a mistake. The ilo hoirah Bezdin b'chelav v'dam l'teira. Let's say Bezdin evaluated a piece of chelav or a dam, and they said that this is permitted. V'hara chazu time elisura. But then they saw reasons to asur it. Now, if all of a sudden they think about reasons to be mater, we don't go back and let them change their mind. But in this case, it's different. One aid comes and says that the husband is dead. Now, also asarna, two other aidim come and say, no, we saw him alive. If another aid, now we have 2 against 2, we would mater her. My time, lav mishum de tos. So these are just facts. It's not a hoirah's Bezdin, and Bezdin has to deal with the facts presented to them. Vav Rabbi Yezer suffered the tos. Rabbi Yezer says this case of Bezdin is also a mistake, not a hoirah. The time of Rabbi Yezer Omer, Yikov adin sahar, that you have to go to the ends of the earth to find the answer. V'tavi chata shmeina, and if Bezdin said that the woman could marry, and it turns out that the husband was alive, so we see it's a mistake. The hoirah is not good, and the woman has to bring a korban chatas. Now, why? If it was hoirah's Bezdin, she wouldn't have to bring a korban. Since the Brisa says she has to bring a korban, it's a tos. So the Gemara says that's no proof. Maybe Rabbi Eliezer holds uniquely that even if the Bezdin makes a hoirah, they don't bring the korban, the Yochid brings the korban. But that doesn't make sense. Then why would he say, oh, we have to go to the ends of the earth to find the right facts? They would just say, bring a korban. No. So he clearly holds that because here is a special case, they would bring a korban. In other cases, they would not. Hayru bezdin li nase. If they paskin that she could marry, and then the Mishnah says she was kilkala, she has to bring a korban. Eliezer Omer zinsa. It means he had relations. She was mizana, but not necessarily a lav, another lav, just as an eshes ish. Rabbi Yochanan Amar almana l'kohen gadol grusha v'chutz l'kohen het. It has to be a lav. Mandam is zinsa kol sheken almana l'kohen gadol. Certainly, it would be a problem almana l'kohen gadol. But mandam almana l'kohen gadol aval zinsa lo. Maybe znus b'alma would not make kilkala. My type of the amra asunu de shavisim pnuya. She can turn to Bez and say, "Listen, you were the ones who made me a single woman." Tanya to kavosid Rabbi Yochanan. Vayru bezin li nase. If Bezin paskin for her to get married, v'halcha v'kilkala, kagon almana l'kohen gadol grusha v'chalutz l'kohen het. Chayeves bekorban al kol bia divrei Eliezer. She has to bring a korban for every inappropriate bia. The chachamim are min korban echad ala kol. She brings one korban for all of them. Umoidim chachamim ablazer shem nisas l'chamisha bnei adam. But if it's 5 different people, shechayeves bekorban al kol echad ve'echad hova gufa machlokim. Then they'd have to bring a korban because each different person is considered different avera. Hayisha shalach baila uvnalim dina sayam. A woman's husband and son, and that was her only son, traveled to China. The witnesses came and said, your husband died, but your son was still alive. So basically the husband died with the son. And then only afterwards your son died. Vinisis, she goes ahead and marries. The achakach amrullah, and then later on, other Adam says, no, the son died first, then the husband. So basically, the husband died without children. She should not have been able to go marry outside to somebody else. She needed yibum from a brother. So the person that she married, Teitzei, the Havlad Rishon v'achron mamzer, the child that she had before they heard the new testimony, and the child that they had after they heard the new testimony, they're both mamzeri. Another case, Amrullah, Meis b'neich, v'akakach meis balech. They told her that your child died, and then your husband died. So it was a case where the husband died without children. And therefore, one of the brothers did yibum, v'nisyabma. V'achakach Amrullah chiluf ayu advorim. Then Adim come and say, no, the opposite. First, the husband died, and the son was alive. So the yibum was inappropriate. So she lived with the neshasach inappropriately. Teitzei, we force a divorce. The Havlad Rishon v'achron mamzer. And the children are mamzeri with the eshasach, with the ach who was she's not allowed to marry, and not b'makom yibum. Third case. Amr lo meis balech. They tell her husband died. Vinisis. She gets married. V'achakach amr lo kayim haya. You know what? He was alive. But then v'meis. But then he died. So he's still Teitzei because she married him inappropriately. However, the first Vlad, when she was living with the other man while her husband was alive, she's an Eshes Ish, so the first child's a mamzer. Now, if she had a child after the testimony that her husband had died, so now she's not an Eshes Ish anymore, right? So the achron is Eino mamzer. Fourth case, Amru la meis balech. They told her husband had died, biniskadsha, and someone gave her kiddushin. Va'achakach ba baila. Then her husband comes. Muteres lachzer lo. She can. There was no nisuin. There was only kiddushin. She can go back to her original husband. Aval b'shanasan la'achron get. And let's say the second husband had given her a get, the get's meaningless because they were not married. And therefore, lo pasal, not kahuna. She's not a halachic grusha. She'd be able to marry a kohen. As zu dorish Rabbi Elazar b'maser v'isha grusha mi'isha v'lo mi'isha eno isha. This is talking about a divorce from a man that was not her husband. Now in the Reisha, we said Rishon umay achron. Ilem Rishon l'fnei Shmuah v'achron la'achar Shmuah. That is the child before the new testimony is a mamzer, and the achron is a mamzer after the Shmuah. So then, listening of Vlad mamzer, just say that Vlad is a mamzer. You don't have to say achron and Rishon. So the Gemara says mishum de kavod lemisni seifa, because in the seifa it does have meaning. Armelo ameis balech v'nisis. V'achakach armelo kayimai v'meis. He was alive, but then he died. So there, harishon mamzer v'achron and a mamzer. So that's why Tananam Reisha Rishon v'achron mamzer, but not that it was needed to be said. Tan Rabbanan Zudiv Rabbi Kiva. Now, it says, okay, so there's a pasuk that says, Lo yavo eishes hameis hachutza liish zar. The wife of the dead husband should not get married to a strange man, meaning she should wait until she gets yibum or chlisa. So if a woman married without that, she's over a lav. So now we understand why our Mishnah says the child is a mamzer. Zu de Rabbi Kiva shaya oimer ein kiddushin toisen b'chayve lavin. So anytime there's no kiddushin, the child is a mamzer. And since this is a chayve lavin, the child is a mamzer. The Chachamim don't hold of Rabbi Akiva that a lav creates mamzeres, and therefore there's no mamzeres. Freit the Gemara v'lema ein mamzer mechayve lavin. Why don't you just say there's no mamzeres from chayve lavin? Hai Tanach Tan Rabbi Akiva, because this Tana follows Rabbi Akiva. Domer mechayve lavin d'she'er hami mamzer. It's not every chayve lav according to Rabbi Akiva that creates mamzeres. It's chayve lavin of mishpacha, family connection. But yavama l'shuk, like somebody who marries his chalutza, anusas aviv, his father raped some girl, he lives with her. So that's a lav, and it's a lav that's connected to family. But mechayve lavin greater lav mamzer.
Oops. Left us hanging here with an omelet to go.
You have enough. Ay, ay, ay.
Let's text him and see what's happening. Mario,
What?
you want to text him to see what's happening? You want to text him and see what's happening? Did he get a call or something?
He didn't call, so I can call him.
Uh-huh.
Maybe he didn't pay the internet.
Uh,
Okay, thank you. Yeah, his network kicked him out.
okay.
Anti-Semitic.
Good.
Yeah, always. Always.
I don't recall ever having a masech that has so many halachas, so many different. Every other word is another halacha. Okay, so
Yeah.
so many. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if it has the most of any masechtas. The Shas.
That's a good question. Yeah. I'm sure Ernie would know.
Oh. Okay.
By the way, tomorrow we'll learn at 4:30.
Okay.
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 Yep.
Does Yevama have more halachas than any masechta in Shas? Every other word is another halacha. Could it be? You know, any masechtas that?
How about Masechta Shabbos?
I guess.
V-boy same Maisu in Yeshbab is nus.
Oh, your internet is not good, Ernie. Ernie,
Why not?
You're
it
in and out.
shows.
I hear you. What's the problem?
Yeah, we couldn't hear you, and your bars are red.
Okay.
Oh. He's calling me. Yes, Ernie. Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. Bye. Stop the share because he has to pay the bill, I suppose. Tomorrow for 30. Harold, I send you a message.
Oh. I'll check it 1 second here.
It's beautiful. It's
Oh,
a
in WhatsApp?
video. Yeah. It's longish, but it's really very deep.
Okay, I'll check it out. Thanks.
All right. Good night.
Good night.